Hey everyone, this is Scott Bernstein again. Sorry, it's been so long since I made a video. It's probably in about 3 months. Updating my recovery from my bilateral retinal detachment. So I am now in what I would call steady state. So just for the reminder, I had a scleral buckle put in my right eye. I had a vitrectomy on my left eye. My scleral buckle, which I had on, I think, December 21st last year, it has gone to what I call steady state. So fortunately, every single time I've gone to see my doctor, who's awesome, she's told me that my retina is reattached fully from the scleral buckle, which doesn't happen all the time. I do see flashes of light here and there around the, in the top field of my field of vision, which is corresponding to the tear towards the bottom of my my retina, bottom part of my eyeball and the retina away, but that's apparently reattached and it's healing up really well. So now, what's my next step in my recovery process? That I see about 20/30 in that. I have a contact lens. I put that every day. Now my other eye, which is my vitrectomy eye, which is this one, okay? I was seeing about 20/25 after that surgery with a contact lens. But as many of you probably know, when you have a vitrectomy and you actually have silicone oil put into it to hold it together, you either get silicone oil or you have a gas bubble put in there. My doctor chose silicone oil because she felt it medically necessary. My tear was on the top part of that, the back of my eyeball. And I think she wanted to really hold it in tight so the silicone oil stays longer than the gas bubble. And unfortunately, it needs to be surgically removed. So one of the other things about a vitrectomy is that when you do have a silicone oil bubble, about 99% of the cases, from what I understand, develop a cataract. So I have developed my cataract. The date of that surgery, of my original surgery from my vitrectomy, I think it was October 30th of last year. My cataract started developing late December. And the past 2 months has really started affecting my vision. My vision went from about 20/25 with a contact lens in there to now I'm probably down to 2100 with a contact lens in. And if it's in the middle of my field of vision, which is where my cataract is, I actually can't even see your fingers in front of me, in front of my face. It's kind of sad, but that's just the way it is. And the good thing is that when I drive, my brain has sort of accounted for that, and really only I don't see the cataract. I actually see just the good image that I'm seeing out of my right eye, which is the scleral buckle eye, right? My eyes do get dry every so often, which is kind of annoying. And the oil, the vitrectomy eye, which has the oil in it, has had on and off pressure problems in there for a bit. One of the other things that I experienced I didn't really touch on in any of my other videos was during the recovery from my scleral buckle, I actually developed a sinus infection, which originally we thought was some pain from the surgery after the scleral buckle. But what happens is apparently, from what my ENT told me, a lot of the medicines that I was putting in and around my eye started to give me really nasty sinus problems to the point where I was getting massive amounts of pain. And until she saw me, she put me on a dose of steroids. I wasn't able to do it, but the eye doctors couldn't figure it out. And once we got that solved, once I was on a steroid regimen, the pain was gone within like a day or two, but it was pretty bad for a little bit. Thought it might have been pressure issues, but it turns out it wasn't. But, one of the things you should think of when you are recovering from at least a scleral buckle is, or either surgery, is understand that you're putting a lot of drugs into your eyeball and around the area, whether it be steroids, whether it be antibiotics, whether it be pressure drops. And that has effect on other things in your head. For me, it had a real big effect on my sinuses, my sinus cavity. And as my ENT put it, my sinuses were inflamed about a 9 out of a 10. But I'm actually very happy with the results that I had so far. I'm going to be I just scheduled my surgery for July 12th, which is a joint surgery between the cataract surgeon and the retinal surgeon, because the retinal surgeon has to take out the silicone oil, which essentially, as it's been described to me, is like a vitrectomy without a vitrectomy. Essentially, they still put the ports in your eyes, and they suck out the oil and they replace it with saline, but they don't do any laser work or anything like that in that eye. And then what'll happen is, in that same surgery, so they don't put you under twice, I'm going to have the cataract done. Apparently I have an astigmatism, so we're going to actually get jacked for a little bit of extra money for a lens, but to account for the astigmatism in my lens. But I think it's well worth it. They will not let you have a multifocal lens in your cataract surgery if you are a retinal patient. They just won't do it. It's too much risk for whatever reason. So I don't have that option, but I can't really read out of that eye anyway, because as it's been described to me, when you read, your eye starts to really hyper-focus, and since my cataract right now is in the middle of my eye, when it focuses, it makes it even harder for me to read out of my left eye. So basically, whenever I read computer screen or whatever, I'm always reading out of my right eye. The other thing that seems to be helping out a bunch more at work is the fact that when I'm actually looking at screens, I'm using the black background and the white lettering on almost all of my applications. Microsoft does a pretty good job with that, especially on Outlook. I've just kind of reversed colors on all the Word docs I have to edit. I jack up the size just because it's a little bit more difficult with the eye, with the vitrectomy. Hopefully this will all kind of go away once they take the oil out and I get the cataract done. But it's been a process. But, I'm kind of used to it at this point in time. Sometimes I get a little bit blurry towards the night, when I have my contact in for a while. But at this point, I'm pretty good at putting in my contact lenses. It's funny because I had them when I was young, until I had my LASIK when I was 25. And, I hadn't put in contact lenses in, 20 years. And then it was really tough in the beginning, and especially at post-surgical, because you don't want to risk hurting your eye. And now it just pops in like it's routine. It doesn't bother me at all. But yeah, so I've been getting back into working out. It was a real tough time for me physically with all the surgeries, because I wasn't able to work out for a while, and put on some weight, and working on getting that off. So you really want to be careful about your nutrition when you're recovering from these surgeries, because you can have a tendency to get down and end up putting on weight. I had 3 different tears, and it sidelined me for a while, and it was really unfortunate. And not being able to hold my children and things like that, I have little kids, it was definitely very frustrating. But like anything else, you get through it. But there is light on the other end of the tunnel. Hopefully on July 12th, when I get my stuff out, it'll be great. Well, that leads me to one other thing, is that if you do have an oil bubble and you need to have a cataract surgery coordinated with your oil removal, try and get it scheduled quickly, because my 2 surgeons, they're pretty tops in their department, at the hospital which I go to here in Houston. And currently it's April 28th, and I couldn't get anything until July 12th, on the schedule. And I think my doctors would even like to work on me sooner, but until they could both coordinate a surgical date, that's how long it's taking. So it's unfortunate I have to sit there with this cataract in my eye for a while longer, because my vision quality is not the greatest in that eye, and it makes it more difficult for me to do things. But I've learned to live with it for this long. I'll learn to live with it for a little bit longer. Anyway, I hope this is helping everyone who's watching. If you're watching, you're probably experiencing something like this, because I don't think it'd be much fun to watch it otherwise. But good luck with everyone. Hopefully these are helping out. Thanks. Bye-bye.